Hello YouTube, this is Insane Monster, and we are here for part 7 of What If Asta Was the Son of King and Diane. Now then, if you haven't seen the other parts, I recommend you stop here and go watch those parts on a playlist on my channel. Now then, with that being said, I do hope you're enjoying my vids. And, well, before we start, obviously, hit it. Link to merch for down in the description below. Now then, with as we are at the Black Bull's hideout, Yami gets a message from the Wizard King and such to come see. As he goes off and gets his new mission, stating that the Black Bulls are going to be more trusted with this kind of thing, considering the nature of how everything stands, especially since it might appear that they have more than one traitor after that whole incident with the former captain of the Purple Orcas. With that, Yami agrees as he finds out they're going to the underwater sea temple. After filling everybody in, he tells them they got a few days to get prepared. Now then, as like in canon, Noelle and the other females of the Black Bulls go get swimsuit. Only thing is, they now are accompanied by Ellie and Lilith, who are the goat and Borson of this new generation. As like in canon, Noelle screams, causing Klaus to rush in, seeing a particular scene that makes him pass out, which Lilith and Vanessa state that Noelle shouldn't be shy and to just pretty much, be proud of what she has, given the fact that Lilith is technically Meliodas' niece in this continuity. So yeah, keep that in mind. As Mimosa asks Noelle what's going on, they get the information that they're going on a bit of vacation to the beach, which is all they're allowed to tell people outside the Black Bulls. After everything was settled and such, and they were getting packed up, someone stated if it was okay to leave the hideout alone, all without anybody protecting it. Tommy thought about this, and he took one look at the palest person here, not served he should bring him, given the fact he might turn into red as a frickin' tomato, and asked Gordon if he could watch over the hideout and if he could be trusted with it. Gordon was somewhat bummed about not going along, but was happy to know that Yami trusted him with this. So there's that. As they all get packed up, they hop on brooms and such and take off. Though Lilith and Tristan use their wings to fly, as Asta, Lancelot, and Ellie are able to fly naturally, like they're, well, even without wing, like their fairy parents. As Asta makes Guardian in its pillow form to let Noelle fly on it, since she wasn't really thrilled about going on and riding Magna's crazy cyclone anytime at all. While they were on their way there, A question was asked about what exactly their mission is by Tristan, since he would like to know where they're going. Yami filled them in on the particulars about the strong magic region, the underwater sea temple, as they were pretty excited to go there. Once they got to the beach, Yami laid out the whole plan. Noelle would get them down into the underwater sea temple. That way, they could hurry up, grab the stone, and get out with Finral's spatial magic. But they would have to wait for a full moon whenever the magic of the strong magic region would be at its weakest. With that, they did have quite a bit of time to goof around. Asta doing his natural training, Luck and Magna pretty much trying to fight each other constantly. Vanessa just relaxing. Of course, Ghost has to be kind of the sister crazed maniac. Charmy's obviously cooking squid. As for Tristan, I would imagine he is taking after his father a little bit. More than a little bit. Eyeing the people, well, the women on the beach. As for Lilith and Ellie, they see Noelle being nervous about showing off her swimsuit to Asta, which she paid frickin' fortune for it with all those jewels on it. As they poke fun at her, saying that she should hurry up and get going if she wants Asta to see, as she is pushed out from behind the tree. With Asta looking over, Noelle had really no choice at this point, though she was giving Ellie and Lilith daggers, with them just laughing, and walked off to see Asta, asking how is he doing, which he was having quite a bit of fun. Sitting down on Guardian in its pillow form, Noelle asked what did he think of her swimsuit. He took a look and stated it looked nice as he smiled, causing Tsundere mode and basically blasting him with water, saying, "Don't look!" As he thinks, why? With Lancelot, who is capable of hearing the hearts of people, just snickering, saying, "Oh man, I cannot wait for you to learn how to hear people's hearts. It's gonna be funny." As night falls, Noelle begins her training. This obviously has them meet with Konoha, the girl with the song magic, as she tries to help them out and, well, does little bits to help out. They do get along quite well, even becoming friends. And with that, Noelle is able to create the sea dragon's lair, where she can now bring the black bulls into the underwater sea temple. With that, everyone meets up on the night of the full moon with everything they need, including their sacred treasures. As Noelle looks at the bracelet she has now, or, well, the armband, she wonders if it's really going to be helpful, since he hasn't really used it in a fight yet. As he uses her spell to encase everybody with gray instantaneously being yelled out to shrink down, turning into charming. Upon arrival, despite the bumpiness of the ride, they do get to the underwater sea temple, as they are greeted, only to have Yami freaking try to intimidate them, and then accidentally starting some kind of weird trend, which now everyone is talking aggressively like Yami, thinking that's just how surface people talk. As they're led into the temple, finding it a bit odd that this was really that easy, they meet with the head priest, who introduces himself and asks why they're here, which Yami tells him that they're looking for the magic stone here, with the priest saying, "Oh yes, that. Well, you see, our people don't get a lot of entertainment here, so I have a suggestion. A type of competition. Our underwater sea temple warriors versus the Black Bulls. How does that sound?" As Yami gets a little bit interested, as the temple warriors show up, their numbers a bit increased now. In total, they have 4 more members along with them than in canon. As Yami just sighs and states, "Fine, this will at least be entertaining." As the old man uses his magic in order to set the game stage, Yami finding himself right next to the old man, looking at a bunch of magic monitors, with the old man stating that, "Oh, you should just sit back and relax and watch the entertainment. Plus, we have a nice spread of food and drinks," which obviously catches Yami, since he is now just chugging away and eating food, laughing it up with the old man, who's thinking, "Honestly, the aura around you is just crazy." Though there were others, I didn't want to be left alone with a number of powerful individuals that could mess up the game. As all the Black Bulls were scattered about the temple, with Asta wondering where he is, as well as the other Black Bulls. As like in canon, the Black Bulls that one-shot their enemies obviously do, as well as Lancelot, Ellie, Tristan, and Lilith. As Asta took out his opponent, same as in canon, and turned Gumnir into its spear form, walking around, taking out the game magic creatures. He figures he can't really use any big spells here unless he wants the whole place to collapse in on him. Not to mention, the temple is technically in the middle of a city kind of thing under the sea. No clue what would happen if he tried any large scale attacks. This is when he met the dance maids. Koga, if I mess up the name, apologies, but you know. As he's griping about his grandfather, saying that he should save the game magic for the other team. Which is when he sees Asta. As he challenges Asta, he also shows off his dance moves, asking if people would like this on the surface. He says, yeah, guess so. Not really knowing what to say about this. Though, it actually looked pretty good, since he has learned some dance stuff from his instructor, Matrona to learn the giant dance, but I digress. As Asta wields both of his swords and controls his spear in its dark form, they begin their fight. Asta having much more easier time in their fight with fluent motions that he picked up from his instructor Matrona, while also controlling the spear to attack at all angles, which, though it was somewhat hard to avoid, which he remarks, "Huh, looks like you're a bit of a dancer too, huh?" Asta remarks, just something I picked up from an instructor of mine," with him being excited to fight Asta, only to find that, boom, there's a large explosion that shakes the entire temple, this being the Eye of the Midnight Sun. But we turn back a little bit to where we see them on the beach after they dispatched the guards that were there at the beach to secure the area due to the fact of it being a resort area for nobles and royals and such. As Veto was heading towards the water, he looks back at some odd cloaked covered individuals and a ring on his finger this time, stating, I hope Rades and Sally made sure that they made these things correctly. As he makes his whale spell in order to get to this underwater sea temple. As we get back to where we are in canon, Veto has already sent out those cloaked figures after 4 individuals. As he takes care of the strongest underwater sea temple mage who uses water god magic, or at least that's what it seems to be, as Luck and Magna then has to work together to at least try to do something, which isn't that effective. The other matches in concern with the Eye of the Midnight Sun pretty much go as same as in canon. However, the 4 cloaked individuals find who they were after, and for the time being we'll stop here and focus on these fights, as we will then go back to the main story. As the cloak figures find Lancelot, Ellie, Tristan, and Lilith, the cloaks are removed to reveal these odd patchwork corpses with some kind of crystal in their chest. These being experimental wraiths made by Rades and worked on by Sally to allow them to be connected to the ring on Veto's finger, allowing him to give them orders, though these are more or less experimental. So it isn't really, there's not a lot of concerns that these things will operate properly in this fashion, but they just need to hold off the fight the individuals until Beto can come and deal with them himself to find a magic stone. As Lancelot runs into his, he's disgusted that he has to fight this weird patchwork corpse. As it shoots fire, Lancelot dodges, remarking, "The hell is this thing?" Yami speaks through the kind of comm system through magic of the priest's game magic, stating, "That thing's a wraith, but it looks weird," as the wraith then creates armor. These things are patchwork because they showed up two different corpses to give it dual magic attributes. These being the prototypes. As Lancelot states, "Oh, come on!" Taking out his sacred treasure, he prepares for the attack and goes straight to stab it, only to hit the armor magic that it just created. As it then starts to fire off more and more fireballs. As he thinks, he remembers seeing the crystal in its chest before it put on that armor. He uses Snatch to take half of its mana, which does weaken the effect of its spell and gives him an opportunity. Using his Snatch magic again, he goes straight past any obstacle and grabs the jewel inside of the Wraith's chest. After he has it, he crushes it, resulting in the Wraith falling down, due to the fact that the one controlling it no longer has control. And without Rades nearby to maintain control over it, it's pretty much just a corpse now, though it's still putting out magic. So as a precaution, Lancelot uses his plant magic. Remember, he's a hybrid, so he has two different magic types, and burrows roots throughout the corpse to make sure it can't be used again. As he yells at Yami to tell the others to go for the gems in their chest. Yami states, "Good work, kid," as he relays the message to everyone else. Next, we go to Ellie, who is having a little bit of trouble. Her flame and wind magic wasn't really working against her wraith due to the fact it was attacking with a mixture of water and poison, making it to where even when their attacks collided, it made poisonous steam emerge, which wasn't very good. After Yami was relaying the information, she compressed all the wind that she could, as well as fire, into a single piercing attack, sending it flying towards the wraith, stabbing it in the crystal, causing it to be embedded in it, and then explode in a fiery explosion. Next, we head off to Tristan, who was avoiding lightning attacks as he was trying to pierce through. He did land a number of attacks using his bow with light arrows and such in his limbs, but these corpses were heavily modified, so piercing attacks won't really slow him down. After hearing where to aim, he goes directly for the crystal, shattering it with a single powerful light magic shot. After which, he had to hurry and get going. As for why he doesn't use the spell full counter, and yes, it is a spell, it's not a magic type, since we see Meliodas, his teacher, use it, and he was the one who taught it to him. But whatever. As this was going on, we switch over to Lilith, who had to deal with a wraith that uses plant and smoke magic. Being surrounded by smoke dulled her sense of smell from her vampire side, making it harder to track it down, as plants were encroaching everywhere. She tore them apart with her battle axe sacred treasure, as well as using the darkness to really tear it apart. With Yami telling her the weakness, she gets frustrated and uses her blood magic, spreading out a spell of bloody webs in every direction. Once she snagged the wraith, she yanked it in and then slammed it into the ground with a large, dark this magic explosion with the axe. That taking care of all of the patchwork wraiths that were sent. As this was going on, we go and see that Noelle and Konoha see Luck and Magna pretty banged up. As they tried to hold off Veto, this is when Asta and Koya come in as, like I said, I forget the name. Sorry, it's just that it's more of a troll because the dude's a simp for Noelle. But they come in as well after hearing the explosion and find that Konoha and Kay, we're just gonna call him Kay, their dad was pretty messed up. As they were frustrated, they decided to do a dual attack. And using the magic, they create a giant sword over the dance mage's original sword to attack, only to have it destroyed, with him being yanked back by Asta's Death Thorn Spirit Spear form. As he asks if that he's okay, he thanks Asta for what he did. As Asta uses Guardian and both of his swords to go directly at Veto to attack. As Veto states, "You're not human at all. Why are you siding with these damned humans? They don't deserve to live." As Asta remarks, "Who are you to decide that?" With Guardian grabbing hold of Veto and Asta slamming the sword into him. Veto bounces back and goes even faster, making it harder and harder for Asta to see him. As he lands a direct blow on Asta, sending him back, Guardian is able to zoom past and catch Asta, though he has a second reel back from it. This is when Konoha and Kay go directly for Veto, only for it to end similar as in canon, with Kay losing a leg, Konoha getting her throat stabbed. With this, Noelle loses it, yelling at Veto to let her go, as she's furious at what he just did to her friend. As Veto recognizes her as a member of the House of Silva, he remarks, "Come on then, Royal, show me what you have." As he charges up her magic much as possible, a new spell forms, this being the Sea Dragon's Roar. As this completely takes off Veto's arm and a chunk of his torso, everyone is just shocked as the people of the Underwater Sea Temple think that Noelle must be a sea goddess or something. As Veto then emerges with an eye on his forehead and starts speaking in some weird language. He regrows a new arm and then begins a attack spell, also used in a language that can't really be understood, firing it at Noelle, with Asta slicing it in half, keeping it from killing Noelle. Asta patted her on the head, stating, "You did great. We need to make sure that the others are safe, right?" As he looked at her armband, he focused, and one of the bright glowing gems stopped glowing as he regained a full dose of her original capacity of her mana. He smirked, thinking that it worked, though round about what happened to Konoha and her brother, as Asta was not happy. The swords went back into the spear, as Asta was enraged, thinking, why did you do this? What do you get out of causing this harm? As Veto states, I want to plunge them into despair. I want to see their faces as they writhe in agony at the hopelessness of their situation. I'll destroy everything and kill everyone here. As Asta is just ticked off, an odd yellow glow comes from him, as well as the spear, as he states, not gonna let you hurt anyone else. Not my friends, not the people who live here, no one. As the spear took a new form, Asta yelled out, Yggdra armor! This being the same Yggdra armor that Bloxemia used. He disappeared for a moment as he smacked Veto up in the air from behind, and then started smacking them around left and right as he was getting torn up a bit from the claws from the Yggdra armor, only to be slammed down to the floor underneath them from a double-handed smack. While Asta was still in this glowing energy state, he looked at Konoha and Kei and then extended his hand. Something like Pollen Garden was more for defense and light healing. They weren't going to fix this. But then his spirit spear took another form, taking the form of Moon Rose. As Asta states, droplet of life, dropping one on both of them, completely healing them, though they were still exhausted, so they were pretty passed out. Noelle casting magic to protect Konoha and her family, as well as Luck and Magna. As Asta was having a hard time breathing now, since this was pretty straining. Then we see just Veto smashing up from underneath, stating, I'll pay for that. As the two swords, the Demon Slayer and Demon Dweller sword, come out of the spear, and they take the form of Increase. Asta states, Dark, Spirit Spear Gumnir, Increase. As Asta blitzes towards Veto, as he strikes at him, cutting him up bit by bit, with Veto trying his best not to be sliced into pieces from Asta's sword or the big blades that Increase had become. When he got a chance, he struck at Asta, only for Asta to be surprised, getting pulled away by threads and sucked into a portal, with Vanessa and Finral reassuring Asta that they have his back. As this was going on, we just see the other members come in. As they face down Veto, Asta goes in for another attack, but the new form that Asta's spirit spear was taking ran out and reverted back to its lesser form. As Asta began another blitz attack, with Lancelot and Lilith working in sync, as with Vanessa and Finral's backup, Tristan and Ellie were attacking from a distance. This overwhelming Veto, with Asta, Lilith, and Lancelot getting an all-out hit on him at the same time, slamming him, pretty much embedding him into the ground. Once they thought it was over, they took a sigh of relief as Asta asked, Where the hell have you guys been? with Lancelot stating, "Oh, we've been dealing with crazy, creepy corpses that been having two magic types." With Asta stating, "Oh god, that's gross." With Lilith and Ellie saying, "You have no idea." This is when Veto then just started freaking out as he became a giant mass of magic. Pretty much a mana bomb. As he states he's gonna take out everybody and everything. As they get set for another round, this is when Yami shows up, as he's already taken care of the spatial maids that kept them trapped. And Yami firing up his new spell, he uses black dark magic, lifeless black cloak, dimensional slash, cutting Veto in half. With this, Veto's gone, everyone's safe, and everyone can now sleep. After all that, the Black Bulls began to wake up as they were treated pretty well. And they all looked out their windows to see everyone cheering for them, as they remarked about how amazing they were. With Magna stating, "I could definitely get used to this." As we see Noelle visit Konoha, asking if she's okay, she touches her throat, stating, "I'm fine. Grandpa showed me a recording of what Asta did. Not quite sure what that spear even is, but pretty incredible." With Noelle stating, "From what I know, it could do some pretty large-scale attacks, but doing that here could probably destroy the barrier surrounding this whole city here." Surprising Konoha, as he giggles a bit, stating, "Well, I guess it's good he didn't go all out in here, huh? But thank you." As she leaves, Konoha's brother is full-on simping for Noelle now, which now we're just gonna call him K. As Asta is bringing flowers over to Veto's body, he sees Captain Yami, who lit a little cigarette inside a little mound of dirt for Veto. Asta walks over, asking if he's okay, with him stating, "Yeah, I just finished the fight. You did a lot. You and the others did a lot of the heavy lifting, and that really pisses me off." But Asta remarking, "Yeah, but I guess the hero comes in at the last minute, huh?" He places the flower. Asta remarks, "Never really understood this guy, but don't know why. I feel like out of everyone, he despaired the most." With Yami smacking him on the back of the head, stating, "You don't have to think about it, things like that too hard, kid, okay?" As Asta wasn't really griping about this, he then gets pecked maliciously by Nero with the magic stone in her mouth, with him swiping at her, stating, "Hey, what was that for, you bird?" As he sees the magic stone in her mouth. Once they got it, they asked the head priest if they could take it, as he states, "Oh, that? Oh, you can go ahead and take it. Honestly, I didn't even know we had something like that." Causing all the Black Bulls to think, what the hell was that competition for anyways? As the head priest laughs, he states, "Well, we really needed some entertainment, so when you asked for a magic stone that I had no clue what you were talking about, I figured I could just use it as a way to get you to cooperate. But Yami being like, do you wanna die? As Finro helps calms him down and leads him out of the portal he just made to hurry up and get this over with. After they got back to the hideout, everyone got situated from this whole mess that they just got finished with, as Yami went over to the capital to turn in the magic stone from the Sea Temple, with the Wizard King thanking him, as Asta and Lancelot were there. We see that he looking at them, smirking and thanking them also. Though he also states those wraiths that are using 2 magic types, they may be a bit of a problem. Hopefully they won't cause too much of an uproar in the future. But we can only hope. As Lancelot states, yeah, those things were really disgusting. I know I just touched the crystal that was controlling it, but I still feel like I haven't washed my hands enough to get the whatever that was on that crystal off of my hand. With the Wizard King chuckling a bit, stating, well, I wish you good luck in that. As they left, and from completing their mission and turning in the magic stone. Now then, with all that said, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.